Hey, what's up, Sagittarius? Welcome to this timeless general tarot reading. Per usual, make sure you check the timestamps below if you'd like to accelerate yourself to the card drop. If your patience starts to wear thin on my particular method of shuffling, then feel free to utilize the timestamps to get to the point where the cards actually drop. That being said, also remember that all typical disclaimers are assumed and all non-typical disclaimers are asserted. I'm not responsible for your misuse of this truth in the event that you do not take it with a proper grain of salt. Make sure that you only take the parts that are meant for you and leave the rest for someone else. Alright, so with that being said, it is my personal style of tarot reading to let the cards give a very clear message. I'm not a huge fan of doing a couple shuffles and drawing from the top. That feels a little too hasty for me personally. I know it works for other tarot readers, but it's not my own personal style. Okay. So you're off to a great start here. The last few days, the readings have been tough. They've probably been tough to listen to. They're about negative qualities within the viewer that they need to overcome for healing's sake, which makes sense because my readings are about healing people. And they're for healing and helping. So it makes sense that I would attract people that have to hear that negative message. But my two reads so far today, yours and Scorpio, have actually started out with optimistic energy. Scorpio started out with some optimistic internalism, and it looks like you are starting out with some optimistic internalism. It looks like you are actually managing to manifest properly and manifest good. You're not manifesting dark things. You're not failing to manifest or stalling to manifest. Let's see what the clarifiers say, but this is actually a good sign to start off the reading that you are in an optimistic space where you're actually managing to manifest properly and manifest effectively, which I know for myself personally, that is exactly what I would love to see in myself, so I'm very happy to see that it is happening for you. So nothing else to go off of just quite yet. Let me see if I can get any other cards to drop here for you. It's a great start. It's a greater start than a lot of the readings over the last few days, and this was actually something I was happy to see with Scorpio's read, because perhaps the energies are turning around. I don't know if... Okay, so as soon as I say that, though... So this is like an interesting sign of complacency. It's almost like because of your success and manifestation, you are actually getting complacent and you're failing to move on in situations that would actually serve you. And I'm not sure what that's all about. That's kind of an interesting sign here. If you are, like, it makes sense, like, it could make sense if your quality is perhaps got you in a job where you're very successful but you're not fulfilled, or maybe you are manifesting in the same ways but that's also kind of trapping you in not looking for a new way forward, a better way forward. So to a smidge of a degree, it's a sign of complacency, which is interesting because you're half validated with the fact that you're a successful manifester, but it's a sign to despite your success, don't lose yourself in... This is tricky. It's tricky to say this correctly because it's almost suggesting that there's possibly an even better opportunity for you, but you are failing to move on from the opportunity you're in. So even though you are manifesting effectively, there's just this option that you could... There's this idea that you're overlooking an option, or you are just not... You're refusing to move on from the situation you're in. And it's striking me as a little bit of complacency. But it's just interesting because the Magician is in the upright. So it's like, you might have offers from other places or something like that. Like there might be some kind of pull for you to go elsewhere, but for some reason you're resisting it. And if you are having this success, you might not feel like you need to do anything else. So that's kind of interesting here for you. It bodes well for you personally, and it is half a sign that you could find something even better if you... Interesting split for you two. It's half a sign that you could find something even better if you were willing to take the leap a little bit here and look for something better. Like actually take the risk to try to do something different. So that maybe that is like a new, maybe that's like looking into getting a better job. It also could just be, you could manifest even greater if you kind of pushed out of your typical forms of success. So it's almost a very rare message of your success isn't serving you anymore. Or not that it isn't serving you anymore, but there's even more success on the horizon and you're kind of complacent in the success you have. And that is not causing you to look for new avenues where there could be even more success or even greater forms of manifestation. So as a manifestational call, this is very, very interesting because it's not claiming that you're a negative manifester. So it's not claiming that you are that you're stuck in negative patterns or anything like that. It's almost a call to be even greater than you are, which is pretty cute. Because a lot of other reads have messages of the viewer struggling with certain ineptitudes within themselves. So the idea that the only thing you could work on is being even better is kind of awesome, honestly, in a certain way. So I appreciate that you're here because that is very interesting to see the cards read like this. And honestly, I'm not even getting anything else to come out for you here. I'm like, it's almost as if that's it. It's almost like that's your whole entire message on 2 cards. So I'm gonna give this a few more tries here, and maybe I can get something to drop for you. But and you even have the 9 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, which is Scorpio had 9 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck at one point during their reading, also in the last read. And this is just a sign that your success, to a certain extent, it's the idea that your success speaks for itself, so you don't have to deal with the haters. Because the haters can't get to you because your success speaks for itself so much that success overpowers the haters, the message in the haters to a certain extent. They can't affect you anymore because your evidence of success is so great. You don't have to fight within yourself for your own optimism. You are in a state of peace of mind where you can, your material achievement is acting as a shield against them, so to speak. But to a certain extent, mixed in with this energy, almost what it's suggesting is maybe that is not serving you 110% at the moment. Maybe your success is kind of what I was suggesting, not letting you take in some good criticism. Maybe there is some valid criticism that could serve you, but because of your material success, you are because of your material success, you're kind of letting that shield block good also. So sort of to what I was suggesting, there's a call here to maybe consider looking to a different path. So let me see if this is anything good for you. Okay, so you've got 3 of Cups here, which is, I mean, it's a sign of good communion. It's a sign of, like, the very cliche way to say it is parties. It's a sign of, like, social events being good, so to speak. So, like, it's like a sign of embracing other people. It's a sign of being pleasant around others. So I'm not exactly sure what it's suggesting here because the thing that came to mind was perhaps, okay, now we have the Queen of Pentacles coming out here. So in order for the Queen to get this massive pentacle, which it's one hell of a pentacle, and because Pentacles are Earth energy, they are to a certain extent feminine energy because Mother Nature, Mother Earth is a feminine quality. Like, this Queen has succeeded in massive manifestation. So it's kind of interesting here because the manifestation of the Magician is playing itself out here in this Queen of Pentacles. So, like, it's just validating that you have this very solid manifestational capacity, and you're not even toxic in the fact, so it's not like you're petty about your success. It's not like you rub your success in other people's faces. It's not like you are toxic in goading over your success, like thinking you're better than other people. It's about the fact that you're actually, you're very appreciative and you're very humble about how much success you've got. So this almost makes me want to revert what I was saying with this Six of Swords reversed. And to a smidge of a degree, it's almost as if you are, maybe you are actually not moving along. Maybe you're actually not leaving behind something that's good for you. That's almost what I'm suggesting here, because all the other cards are in very optimistic positions. Like, you've got manifestational capacity, you've got granted authority, you've got camaraderie and communion. You're pleasant around other people and you attract that pleasantness and happiness and good times, good vibes in social settings, which is part of possibly why you can manifest so well. So I'm very curious as to what the heck this... I'm going to try and clarify this Six of Swords in reverse, because it's definitely not exactly matching the rest of this energy. You, like, if the Six of Swords reversed... Okay, so now you have the Strength card coming out here. So, like... It's almost as if what this is suggesting is that your internal strength keeps you from walking away from good things. Or it's almost like this, your internal strength and your confidence and your manifestational capacity actually keeps you from walking away from what you know is good, which is actually pretty awesome. And it plays right into, like, the last Leo reading I did, which was talking about the Leo being very good at understanding their own internal strength and providing their own internal stability. So this is one heck of a read for you, and I'm very happy that my reads are finding this optimism now, because they were, I don't know if, like, maybe like getting over the full moon has, like, flipped the energies or something. I don't know exactly, but, like, they're turned around today. At least today's energies have been pretty dang good for you, or for you and for Scorpio. They were really good, which is exactly what I want to see. So, I mean, that's about this isn't even really, it doesn't really have anything to say to you other than it's just kind of validating your, like, how awesome you are. So there you go. It's like, and a Sagittarius being, you know, the archer, when they shoot for their like, when they can shoot for their targets and hit, that is when they are most themselves, and it is proving that you are doing that. This reading is suggesting that you are actually making that happen, and you're not just in material abundance, but you're also in, like, social, like, camaraderie abundance with others, and you have your internal strength and you have your Magician. So it's almost like you are, it almost plays back into that Nine of Pentacles. So what I was trying to say with that Nine of Pentacles not serving you, I'm actually kind of reverting that. It's like the Nine of Pentacles could have almost clarified this as well. It's like, it's almost like you are, it's like you have the internal fortitude to not let people take you down the wrong path. And every time you do that, like, people love you all the more for it. And you continue to grow in your capacities and your abundance. And the Queen of Pentacles is, in my opinion, the most powerful queen, because it's the most dense feminine energy of the earth. And it's the queen of that energy. So, in my opinion, the Queen of Pentacles actually matches the King of Wands in terms of power. I don't actually see the King of Pentacles as being stronger than the Queen of Pentacles, because the Queen of Pentacles, as a feminine form, has a more natural embrace of the feminine energy. So the King of Pentacles, even though they can achieve that state, they are, as a masculine form, feminine energy isn't their natural default. So I always find them as a step behind the Queen of Pentacles. A Queen of Pentacles embracing themselves properly is very powerful. And it's one of my, it's honestly one of my favorite cards to see for you. So if you're a feminine Sagittarius, and this is all describing you, that's wonderful. And then Strength being a Leo is even magic, or not, sorry. For some reason I was thinking Magician there. Fire, Leo being fire, so it also matches your fire energy. So it's kind of interesting because even though you're Sagittarius, you're showing up as like very dense in this earth energy. So you might have like a lot of earth in your chart even though you're a Sagittarius sun, something like that. But I don't know. Oh, and the other thing here is like you've got the double infinity going on here. So like I don't know who you are, but you are someone who it would be easy to envy you. I don't envy. I don't think that's how I find my own power. So envy is not something that I do. If you want to see the best in yourself and you mean that, it's easy to see the best in others and appreciate the best in others. But if I were to envy, I would dare say that this is like who I would envy being. So, all right, I'm going to see if there's any other clarifiers here for you, but if not, like this is actually, we even have the Queen of Wands there kind of poking out, or the King of Wands actually kind of poking out there. But it's too many cards, so I'm not going to take that. I'm going to try and give this one more clarification, but this is one hell of a high note, so I'm almost inclined to end this. And this reading has been pretty quick, 17 minutes. It was the same thing with Scorpio's reading. It was just quick, to the point, optimistic reading. A lot of the other negative readings have taken a long time to clarify and get to the point, to figure out what the difficulty is, but it's awesome to see that you are in this optimism. It's awesome to see that this is who you are. Like, if I could become, like I said, if I were envious, I would envy you. This would be who, it would be so easy to envy. So it's very interesting because you're not even getting any toxic energy being annoyed with you. Like you didn't get any reversed Lord energies. You didn't get any like forms of confliction energy. The closest thing you got to forms of confliction is that people might try to take you off your path, but you actually have the internal capacity to know what the right path is. And because of that, people appreciate you, and that energy is embodied in the fact that, or you're returned that energy. When you can accomplish this stuff, you're returned not only material abundance, like I said, but you're also returned pleasantness in terms of sociality. So it's pretty cool here. And I'm very happy if you're here and this is describing you, that you are here watching my video. I appreciate it. So honestly, I don't even want to do any more reading here. I am just, it doesn't seem like there's anything that, it's not even giving you a warning. It's not even giving you a sign of anything to work on. It's purely just kind of validating your greatness, so to speak, which, you know, don't let it go to your head or anything, but if this describes you, you are an exemplar for how to like approach life. Like you're embodying so many great qualities here. So I appreciate that you were here, and I don't think there's anything else I can really tell you. You know, I can keep driving home the point of how awesome you are, but there's a good shot that you kind of understand that. And even though you understand that, you don't let it go to your head. You don't let it turn you against other people, or you don't, I can't remember, I'm not finding the exact word, but like, you know, you're not snooty about how great you are. You actually, your greatness refines itself, and it's just wonderful. This is absolutely wonderful. So thank you for being here. I was blessed that you could be here to bring out this energy, so I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Sagittarius, and good luck sticking with this. This is awesome.